Hey guys, excuse the state of my hair. I know, okay, but I just woke up and I'm in dire need of haircuts, so like, chill. Um, Today I want to talk about, I don't know, I think something that I'm learning about myself, and I feel like I say that every video, like, oh, duh, nigga. But like, something I think is really important when it comes to being on a journey of self-improvement or just trying to work on yourself. I think when you have goals or dreams in mind, you're very focused on the end goal, right? If you want to, I don't know, be a millionaire or fucking, you know, something small. Maybe you want to go to the gym more. Maybe you want to have a certain body, or I don't know. You just want to be good at something. Whatever the case may be, we tend to focus on the end goal, right? The result, the outcome, the accolades and the praise and the just the image of what it will look like once we've achieved that thing, you know, the feeling that we'll have, what other people will say, what we'll think, how we'll feel, all of that stuff. And I think in doing that, it cripples you in a sense, because when your focus is only on where you're going or where you could be, you lose track of where you are. And I think it's important to focus on where you are, because it's where you are that will get you to where you want to be, right? So I think something that I'm learning to do is falling in love with the journey, right? The process of getting to where you want to be, right? Because that's what's going to make you into that person that you want to be, or help you to achieve that dream, is learning to appreciate the little growth every day, right? That getting 1% better, or just taking it day by day until you achieve that goal. When you can learn to appreciate that and to value that journey, I feel like suddenly the result is no longer the goal, right? And I think that's important when your overall goal isn't to do something, but to become someone, right? And so I think when you do learn to appreciate that, it takes away the focus on the end goal. And I think in doing so, it actually makes the achieving that much more likely, right? Because now you're not just focused on what will I do, it's what am I doing now to get there, right? And I think you even find when you see successful people, or you know, people that have done crazy things or achieved insane amounts of success or wealth, oftentimes you see that they're very appreciative, or they look back fondly on the time it took to get there, right? The struggles that they had to go through, and just like, right, the good old days, in a sense of like, maybe you didn't have that money, or you didn't have whatever you have now, but like you were working so hard toward it. And there's something excuse me, there's something kind of beautiful and kind of charming about just the journey, right? Because that's what really makes it all worth it, right? In every aspect of life and of achievement, right? The things that hold the most prestige are the things that take the longest time to get, right? The hardest work, right? We put so much value in things not because they are fun, or because they are prestigious, but because they're difficult to do, right? What makes winning a championship, whatever, regardless of whatever sport you're playing, what makes it so valuable? Why does it hold so much weight? It's not because you get a trophy at the end, right? It's not because you get to take that picture at the end of the season with your team and you get all the praise from your friends and your colleagues and your family. It's because you had to beat everyone else to get there, right? You had to be the team that worked the hardest, that trained the longest. You know what I mean? It's not the end goal that gives you that feeling of fulfillment, of success, of achievement. It's everything before that. It's all the work, the long hours, the discipline, the times you had to force yourself when you didn't want to do something. All of that leading up to the achievement. And I think that's what makes it all worth it, is all of the work beforehand and then finally hitting that point of achievement. Yeah, in a similar sense, I think like the analogy that I kind of think of is playing video games, right? So GTA, for example, is a game very popular, obviously, but there's very well-known cheat codes, right? And so there's kind of two ways that you can play the game, right? You can play the game the regular way, on whichever difficulty, and go through the missions and struggle and die and whatever, and then get to the end. Or you can use the cheat codes and you can get the money or the infinite ammo or the guns or teleport wherever you want to or have invincibility. And as a kid, I would play these games, right? And typically I'd like to play it all the way through, but then I'd get stuck on one part and then I would be like, fuck this, bro, I'm gonna use a cheat code. And what I would find is whenever I used them, when I finally got to the end of the game, I didn't have that feeling of pride or of success or that fulfilling feeling once you finally beat something. And the goal didn't change, right? My goal was still to beat the game. The difference is how I beat it. It was the journey to beating it. And I think that's really the key difference, right? Is because on one hand, there's a path where it takes hard work, it takes dedication, it takes hours, and it takes failing, right? I'm bound to die in a mission or not know what to do, and it's overcoming that and getting to the end anyways that makes beating it, that makes getting to that end all the while more worth it. Whereas taking the shortcuts, the easy ways, and using the cheats to get to the end, it makes it less fulfilling, right? And so I think that's kind of the point when I say fall in love with a journey, is because when you're so focused on the goal, right, the end point, that's all that you're thinking of, right? And so perhaps you reach there, right, through whichever means, and you haven't changed into the person capable of becoming or achieving whatever goal you had in mind, right? Because you didn't go through the journey, you just skipped to the end. And yeah, I think that's what's most important. To relate it to another game, there's one of my favorite games now, probably my favorite game, is Elden Ring, right? It's a part of the Souls franchise. They're just known for being very, very difficult games. And it was my first introduction to a series like this. And I hopped in and immediately got my ass kicked like everybody else. But the reason that's one of my favorite games now is because I got my ass kicked so much. I have upwards of 120 hours on that game. I probably spent 80 of them just dying. And there's nothing more fulfilling. There's nothing more, and I'm sure my fellow Souls game players or Elden Ring players or just any video game, any sub game, can relate to that feeling when you've spent hours trying to beat a boss and all they've done is kick your ass. And then eventually something clicks. And there's no better feeling than that when you finally win. And it's not because you beat them, right? It's because you just spent the last 10 hours getting your ass kicked, and now you finally overcome it. Now you've achieved that goal. So after spending 100 and some odd hours playing the game, exploring it, going through everything, and finally beating that boss, there's no more prideful feeling, right? Because when I look back on the game, right, and why I loved it so much, I didn't love the game because I beat the bosses. I didn't love the game because I finished it. I loved the game for all the hours I spent trying. All of the hours I had to overcome things. I had to learn how to fight better. I had to watch videos on like techniques. I had to push myself, right, to get better, to learn, okay, what's better to use against this boss or this boss, or what weapons, what am I doing wrong? What armor do I need? This and this and this. I look back fondly more on the journey than the boss, or that one final boss that I beat to finally finish the game. Once I got to the end, it was like, okay, I beat the boss. But the reason I love that game so much is everything beforehand. And I think that is so symbolic in light of life, right? Life is a journey, and it is the most difficult journey. And of course, hoping that everyone achieves their dreams, does what they want to do in life. But when you're 45, 50, hopefully, laying back on your yacht, sipping your champagne with your husband or wife and your 3 kids, I don't know, bro, that just whatever that idea of success is in your mind. While I'm sure you'll be appreciative of where you are, what will make the appreciation that much more valuable is everything that came before. All of the work that it took to get there. And the pride that you'll take in who I used to be, and who I had to become to get to where I am now. So yeah, learn to value the journey. Take pride in just getting better one day at a time, 1% at a time. And yeah, imagine you're walking up a hill, right? And it's a steep ass hill and you're tired, your legs are fucking dying, right? But how I imagine life is you're just looking at your feet, and all you have to do is take one step forward, right? One step at a time. And eventually you'll look up and you'll be at the top of the mountain, right? And you'll be so fucking, holy shit, I finally made it to the top of the mountain. But it's like, what makes that so rewarding is that you had to push yourself to get there, right? And yeah, so I leave everyone today to be where your feet are, to take pride and to enjoy where you are now, because one day you'll look up and you'll wish you were right back where you were. You'll wish you could go through it all again, and you'll be so proud that you made it through whatever you're going through right now. So don't be so focused on where you're going, where you want to be. Just do what you can now. Whatever step you have to take toward achieving your goals or your dreams, whatever you have to do, even if it's something small, just do what you can today, right? Because 1% better at every single day is gonna compound into a brand new you, right? And so, yeah, that's all I had to say for today. I hope everyone's having a good start to their week. It's a Monday. Oh my gosh. And yeah, peace and love. I feel like I gotta come up with like an outro or something. I don't know. I feel so like I do this every time, but yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna try to. I have another video. I think I'm gonna put this one up first and then I have to edit the other one. So I think I'm gonna do 2 this week. I'm gonna try to do 1 video a week though, at least. Right? That'll be my that's my goal. So yeah. I'm gonna stop yapping. See you guys later.